I ain't gonna lie, you drug. He said we wasn't really gonna talk about music, but he ain't say we was gonna be talking about this. So y'all gotta excuse me, pardon me in my joint. I'm getting a little shaky, a little bit nervous. My pop watch all my stuff. I gotta make sure.
Oh shit, I got cheat keys.
I gotta make sure I'm right. That's 100% wild. That's 100% wild. I think somewhere I started to realize the absence. Like, you know, like I said, I was in 4th grade, so I don't know. I guess one day I just woke up like, hold up, wait, something missing. But I couldn't point out what it was, so I was just finding stuff to trip about. Like, oh, I'm acting out because I don't like my school, go to a different school. I don't like this school either. I don't like this girl my dad with. I don't like that girl either. Like, nothing is working. Like, I'm just, you feel me? And not realizing that all the way into, like, my last year of high school is crazy. Like, so you know how I talked about how I felt like stuff been missing throughout my whole life, like my childhood, something missing. Music kind of filled that void. So by the time we got to high school, I was bored. I already was bored. I told y'all, I stressed this to y'all, I've been bored. But we taking off. We on a come up show. We everywhere. Lean Bean is everywhere. So it's like, I ain't really had time to worry. I ain't had no time to really like, I still was like mid-depressed a little bit going through family stuff. But for the most part, music really like saved my life in a sense. Cause it's like, that was my outlet. You feel me? Like, that's where I express myself. I got multiple songs about my mom where I could just get it off. My music was different. I wasn't just like rapping. I was like telling my story. So that was my therapeutic outlet. So my behavior, my character, how I was, it was like really just, you could tell that I was healing myself in a way. Like, you feel me? Like my stepmom even told me, like, I'm proud of you. I'm starting to see growth in you. This high school years. I told you me and my stepmom relationship wasn't all that cool. So when I started doing music and really tapped in, you started to see a shift in like my energy, my behavior and all that. You could tell I found something that I love to do. Cause I ain't play sports. I wasn't in like on a basketball team. I ain't play soccer or I wasn't in no activity. So music was like my childhood activity, like my curriculum that I was, feel me? Yeah, this was Gratz, Simon Gratz, 9th and 10th grade in between. So, alright, Sesquiu was like my real outside years, like, cause I go to my cousin's crib and all that, but I'm outside with them. Like, I ain't come outside, till I was like 12, 13. Like, that's when I started coming outside on Susquehanna. So it was like, they was my outside. This was my, like, I'm outside now, you feel me? And it was a lot of like the way the way I ran into the first group of people I started hanging with was some family stuff. Like, shout out to Keisha. She was like the godmom of my nephew, like my sister and all that. They was like super close. So I got close with her family. And then like it's big down there. Like, everybody cool with everybody around there. It ain't really no like them other hoods where they beefing. It got like that at one point, but nobody was beefing with nobody. So it'd be just like 15th and York, 17th and Dolphin. Everybody merged, kick it on Susquehanna. So how it was down there was just, it was all love at one point. I know too it wasn't, but it was all love. Like, it's unexplainable. I can't explain it. I think it was the most coolest times of our lives. Everybody was worry free. It was like everybody was alive. We was on ice. We was kids. I was just talking about this. I was talking about this, the murder. What I say? I said, I'm trying verbatim what I said. So I'm just gonna just assume this is my first time I got in the studio. I remember being on 17th Street and it was somebody in my hood who was on the DVDs and all that at the time. You heard me? Like, he was around already. He already had his name. And one of my friends walked up to him like, yo, she that. You feel me? Like, she that, take it to the studio. He like, all right, yeah. You know how it be. First of all, I'm a girl, I'm young. Go ahead with that, like, you feel me? And I think I had spit something for him that same day or something. And I think we went to the studio that night, yo. And we did like 3 joints. You heard me? And he put it on like a CD, passed it out in the hood, and we went up from there. Like, it was me and him at one point, like, just cooking them. You feel me? So it was up since. Like, Stayed in the studio. We took off from there. That. My family. That was my real childhood nickname. Like Aunt Jackie, for real. Aunt Jackie used to call me Lena Bina. Her and my dad. And yeah, that was my name, Lena Bina. I just took the Lena off because my friends called me Lean. That was my name. So it was just, I took the A off the lean part. I mean the Lena part, and it was Lean Bean. Well, I took the A's off both part because it was Lena Bina, but I wasn't going around calling myself Lena Bina, but I took the A's off. Yeah, and that's where Lean Bean, that's my childhood nickname though. My aunts, they still call me Bean to this day, my Aunt Jackie and my dad. It was bittersweet. Shout out to Aunt, we run the streets. Aunt lined that up. Aunt lined to come up, show up with Kev. He was super close with Kev. Me and Aunt we already had our relationship. But it was bittersweet because it was like I couldn't really, like I said, since a kid I was big on loyalty. And I couldn't really like soak that in because Kev and Q relationship wasn't, for whatever reason, I don't know, I don't even know how it even got whatever it was, but it wasn't like when I went up there, I was about to not even do it. Q said, go ahead, do it, yo, we need this, like, you feel me, do it, but I wasn't about to go because he ain't let Q up to the station. And I felt some way, I'm like, oh, all right, I ain't doing it then. Q was like, it's bigger than this, like, it's bigger than whatever me and Kev got going on, man, I want this for you, I love this for you. He waited outside and I went up there and I was, if you, like when I got up there, I was just ready to, I was angry, like I wasn't angry, I just felt the way. And I went up there and just got it out the way, like, yeah, like, you feel me? Like, I had a point to prove in a sense. And yeah, I felt the way my dog wasn't up there with me. But Banger was up there with me, E Banger was up there with me. That's Sandbox. Childhood, right hand, if you know me, you know E Banger. Look, it was like, that. I think I felt the most hate. I got the most hate. You would think like everybody be happy for me. I'm feeling all this love. I think this like the first time where I felt like my friends was jealous of me, dog. Like I'm talking about like the people around me, I ain't feel like they was happy for me. And I think that's what I wanted at the time. I just wanted all my friends and my peers to be like, oh, and half of them was, but the hate, it was bittersweet. It was like, dang, dog. You feel me? That's when I start feeling the hate for real. But overall, it was crazy because we smacked World Star, like the premiere type. Like I think the Come Up show dropped like 9 p.m. and I think the World Star vid slapped like 10 p.m. or something like that. So we was going crazy on World Star, and then Kev kept playing that joint. Like every day he kept playing that joint. Like, so it was crazy. It was crazy. I was super cocky at the time. It was more like, duh, we on the radio, duh, we on the Come Up. Look at us, it's us. It's who else gonna be? You feel me? So I ain't really, to be honest, I ain't really like soak in all that, everything that was happening because I was so cocky. Like I was so arrogant. Like I wasn't like appreciative of the blessing. I was like, duh, like who else is gonna happen for? We was on that. So it was like, I wasn't humble enough to like enjoy that. You feel me? What I say? Oh, chill. I remember it. I do my own thing. It's hard to be congruent. No, I said I do my hard thing. It's hard to be influenced, and I am not the same. It's hard to be congruent. I mess these tracks up. Pardon me if they ruin. I show them how to do it. Take heed on what I school. I never been a fraud. No fiction in what I'm doing. I really does it. I get attention for what it's proven. They sleeping on me, I'm just sick of the snoozing. A spiral notebook and a pen, and then I'm grooving. Got bars for days, months, and leap years. These rappers spit about nonsense like we care. The hottest youngin', she's here. That shit was ass, man. This the Come Up show really promoted the mixtape. We dropped our first mixtape. Shout out to Q. We recorded that whole mixtape in Q crib. I was selling CDs on my book bag. So the Come Up show really just got my CDs sold. Like we was selling them for $5. Some people was buying them for 10, and we went up. I cannot make this up, yo. Like really, I made like $500 an hour off of my CDs and Simon Gratz out the locker. Hold up, I gotta go back to the locker because I couldn't fit all of them in my book bag, so I keep going to the locker. Security was grabbing them, lunch lady, Simon Gratz, security, lunch lady, my teachers. and all of us, like Nicetown, Dano and them, like all of us was grabbing. So it was like, yeah, this one I felt it, like, oh yeah, we doing something. That's man. Dang, I got my inspiration, like music, like or overall, like music wise.
Overall.
Yeah, overall. Well, shit, overall, like, I don't know, man. Where I get my inspiration from was just simply like, I felt like I had to make my mom proud. That's one. And on the music side of tip, just everything. Like, if you knew music, you knew. Like, the Lauryn Hills, the Drakes, the Hoes, and the DVD era. It was just like everything mashed up at once. And I think you hear that now, like, in the music where we singing, we doing melodic stuff, and we rapping. All of that just came from me being influenced by, like, real rap and, like, good music. Like, you feel me? Like, the Drake, where he sang and he rapping. Lauryn Hill, where she, you feel me? So it's like, yeah, just I always been inspired by, like, just great stuff, like great shit. A little bit.